Everyone. Hi, I apologize for taking a while to join. Okay. I did just see that incident with Carlos. I don't really have much idea, but wow, that is. Yo, Paula, it's not Grash. It's Gaster. Grash, I have no idea if he's coming. We'll have to see. On the other hand, yeah, that massive incident with Carlos. I'm not sure what happened. He saw a crash. That's really it. But yeah, sorry, I'm not able to provide any updates yet. I'll try to see what has happened. Okay, that is a bad. Oh, that is a bad crash. Sainz, really another rebuild. He just put his car. No, really, he didn't really put his car in a wall previously. He had to get a new chassis and basically he had to replace a lot of parts. But yeah, and he's got to do it again now if it's really that bad. Holy man. Paula, yes, it is Gaster. Hello. Yeah. Yup, heartbreak for Ferrari fans. I have no idea what happened to Carlos. I'll have to see. I think a replay already happened, so I didn't catch that. So I'll have to see another replay again later. Who crashed? Yeah, Carlos Sainz. Pretty unfortunate considering. And yeah, Sainz will get grip penalty again, maybe? Actually, yeah, likely, because he already met all his criteria and just overshot his what was it? One of his parts previous? I don't remember. He overshot one of his parts already. Even the rest were just right on the dot. So if any of those break, he, definitely have to serve another penalty again. And this time it really is his fault. At least I think it is. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. Car snap. Yeah, they already should have. All right. They should have replay. Is he okay? He looks to be okay. No problems in his hand so far. Yeah, Paula. Yeah, Hi. I was on with Grosh just now. If you didn't recognize my voice, but yeah, that was me. Looking at the timing right now, yeah, it's the positioning is just too funny, or at least off in a way where I just don't think any of the drivers are pushing. So we'll wait for a while. How's Max doing? Max is P5. Oh, battery change at Vegas. All right. Oh, yeah, this should be Grash. Hey.
Hello. My apologies about that.
Did you hear what happened?
Yes.
Yeah, I have no idea what actually happened because I was also late. So by the time I joined, the thing already happened. But
Okay.
from what I can see, it looks bad. Like the crash itself looks bad, really bad. The aftermath, yeah, because there's a lot of things broken that you don't want broken at least. Oh,
I'm
that's
looking at the replay right now. He did slide for a while and went into the technical barrier. That front tire did come off as expected. He'll be. I mean, they won't. He'll be out for the rest of the session. That looks repairable. The question
probably
is,
but
what else broke with because it's designed to collapse.
oh, that's true. Yeah, it's supposed to come apart, but the main part that's supposed to really come apart is just the I'm not really sure what exact part. It's just meant to split in half everything that breaks apart. I'm not sure it's what they're going for. From what I see, something's probably up with the rears. That's not going to be good for them. Uh, yeah, I haven't really had a good look yet, honestly. And also, I just realized, is that the turn where was it one of the rebels? He had also snapped his steering at one point around the same bend. I do wonder if really the surfacing here was done properly, because seems to be certain spots that drivers just snap.
What do you mean?
Because okay, we saw Sainz struggling with the car just now at last turn, right? Yeah, that's the last turn. He was he lost his rear, and this time at another turn where I saw a few drivers seeming to really struggled with grip around, and he just lost it this time instead of just a snap steer where he managed to correct it. So I do want to know if it's up to this. Like, is it a surface issue or is it just a mistake on the driver's part?
I mean, it's a combination of both. They've gone back a little bit further. I'm just trying to get a better look. So the turn that this happened through was through turn 3, and there's a bump that he hits, and we heard about this. I think I want to say Sportsman, but one of the rookie drivers indicated there was an issue that he was having an issue through this area as well.
Yeah, that's what I was pointing out to. I think Hatjar. It was Hatjar, if I'm not wrong. He had a bit of a snap there. But, reported the issue. That's another driver. I'm sorry. All I remember seeing one of the Red Bulls having a snap right around the corner too. Complaining. I know Porsche had issues with bottoming out, but I don't think it was grip issues. I think we'd have to go back to the actual practice one to really know who was complaining about grip right around the corner.
So I'm going through the analysis that they're going, but part of what happened here is that it is cooler right now. So there's more airflow over the car, and that's one of the things they're thinking about. What is contributing to the incident that happened here?
Cooler temperatures. Okay. Cooler temperatures. Yeah, it probably does affect the airflow, but I don't know why that would be a negative. So maybe you could explain
Because
it.
the air is more denser,
Mm-hmm.
and so
And
we're and the track is cooler. So there's a
oh
we've
yeah,
got
that's the main part I
cooler.
get.
Yeah, so the tires are cooler, the track is cooler. Um, there's more airflow going over the car, and he's got less grip, and he just basically lost. I mean, basically, as he goes around that curve, he loses control of the car, and he's just spinning. There is
Yeah.
and you can there's a great shot of the look of the tires, the tire marks on the ground as it's after it spun, and it's just going around. It's just like a circle.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are pulling the car off the track. The big thing is that after once they pull the car off the track, they've got to fix what's called the technical barriers, and these are basically designed to be pushed around easily to get to be put back into place pretty quickly. But it's going to take some time to do that at the moment.
Alina, the red flag is for Carlos. He spun and at turn 3.
They are still working on that barrier. They've going to be a couple. Ooh, they've taken a part off of the barrier. They're resetting a lot. So it's going to be at least 5 minutes or so before they come back to track action. We
Yeah, I
should
think it's a
see,
few minutes at
yeah,
least.
5 to 8 minutes. So,
Sainz retired from a session in FP2. I mean, he was retired in FP1 previously, and
FP1.
that was not really his fault either. So I don't think we can really blame him. This one, yeah, does seem to be his own mistake though. So yeah. Elizabeth, what happened? Sainz spun. Yeah, same for Jagadish. Yeah, Sainz spun at turn 3, and now he's out of the car and basically out of the session. Whether I think this could have an impact on next seasons or the seasons following, well, I don't think so. It's a mistake. It happens. It happens once, and that's it. The previous one wasn't even really his fault. And he will have a good break to think this over, anyways. So, yeah, we'll see how he deals with it. But I don't expect not too much to happen, especially not the kind of dip that we saw from Perez. But either ways, yeah, it's probably not going to affect him too much. The red flag, yes, it is. Sainz spun and he hit a barrier. When are we restarting? I have no idea. Grash, do you have any idea when we're restarting?
Not yet. I mean, now it's at least 5 minutes.
At least 5 minutes.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it looks like which helmet are we looking at? Oh, yeah, Chuki Sonoda's helmet. So one of the stories going this is Franz Tots. This is good. He's the principal for AlphaTauri. This is his last race with the Red Bull family. in that role. He's leaving, and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that team after he goes. Um, Luckily, with Sonoda and Ricardo pushing hard on the track this weekend, they did well in FP1. Again, only a few minutes. Ricardo and Sonoda are P2, P8 right now. It'll be interesting to see what we get tomorrow for an FP3. Again, for those of you who are in chat right now, asking about what happened, basically, Carlos Sainz lost control of his car around turn 3 and went into the techno barrier. So they're getting his car off the track, which they've done already. But the issue is waiting for getting that techno barrier back into place. They've pulled one of the pieces out, one of the links out of place to get it into shape. So last weekend at Vegas, we all know that Sainz's car was damaged from when when his car went over the drain piece, the whole unit came out of the ground and damaged his car. The penalty that Carlos took is because I believe it was specifically the battery, essentially the control was he ended up taking the third of, so you're allowed only 2 of those battery pieces, and he took the third one, and that now pushed him over into where he needed to take a 10 place penalty piece. For this right now, what we'll get for this one, we don't know. His car has not been returned back to the garage. We are assuming that there will be a penalty because he may have to take parts. Hopefully that is not the case. We know that like the front of the car, he took out the front wheel. Obviously it's designed to collapse. I believe the back wheel collapsed as well. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna jump back a little bit and take a look at.
Yeah, I think it did, from what I saw, and I appreciate that, but maybe you can go back to look. And also, I did actually just have a look at the footage again. If he spun in a clockwise direction, it does mean that he lost grip on the left side of the car, does it not?
I believe so.
So it's not really the what do you call it? It's not it's likely something to do with on track rather than the curbs themselves. And he wasn't. I don't think he was on the curbs either. So
The
well,
question and why I'm going back is I'm looking at the state of the car. If we can get a better to see what is damaged.
yeah, I think that's one thing everyone wants to know too, right? Because of the whether that's the only way we'll know if he gets a penalty or not.
Yeah, like if something went wrong with the ICU or something went wrong with another piece of the that is going to be that's why you will take a penalty. We'll know tomorrow in FP3 what his penalty will end up being, because that it will be repaired and they'll have to report that to the FIA, and through the FIA there'll be a document generated by that. Did he destroy his back wing is the better question.
I'm not too sure. They are currently showing footage of the car. No, okay. Actually, is it? Oh, I think it's Snap. Is that it?
Snap.
Is it?
That should be replaceable.
Okay, but his rear left. Yeah, I think his rear left should. It's not intact. It's not intact. Axle is not intact. Session will resume at 5:35 local time.
So that's going to give us 6 minutes. Essentially, they're going to resume the session in 6 minutes.
Yep, in 6 minutes.
So that's huge because Ferrari is 8 points to Mercedes. That's going to be a big. That's if they're already one person down like they did last. Like again, with Vegas, they're one person down already. That's going to be a big issue. Sainz is currently P4 at 200 points. Fernando Alonso is at 200 points as well, but he's got the advantage over having a win. Norris is 5 points behind, and they are eager
Wait,
to go
Alonso has
after
a
him.
win?
No. I'm sorry. Sainz has the win.
Ah,
He
yeah.
has the advantage over. He has the advantage over Alonso because of the win. That's what I was supposed to say. What I meant to say.
Okay,
Norris
got
is
it.
at 195, 5 points back at 6. And then we've got his teammate Leclerc at 188, 12 points back. So that is the fight for P4 through P7 in a nutshell. This is huge. Huge in that battle. Again, welcome to the Race Statistics YouTube channel. This is Grash and Gaster again with you. We are we got 28 and a half minutes left to go in this session. It is currently in red flag because Carlos Sainz has crashed.
Okay, and yeah, so that means realistically we have 25 minutes of actual session time for practice 2. And I just saw a question from one MWK360 about money versus wind tunnel. I think that is a question that a lot of people would like to know. Like, does it matter to have more money or wind tunnel time? And I believe it's money because, look, we know Red Bull with the limited wind tunnel time from winning. They did win last year, didn't they? Red Bull, and then
they also
did,
had
right?
a penalty. And then
Yeah, they did a penalty, and look at their car. With a penalty and having the least amount of wind tunnel time and still winning, wind tunnel probably isn't like the big deciding factor. While money, it's also there. It kind of, you look at the top teams and it becomes pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, part of the issue with basically with the new regulation changes last year, Red Bull got them spot on right.
Yeah, definitely.
Of all the teams, they got it dead on right, and they were coming out of the gates hot. And so they already had a huge advantage over all the other teams, regardless of the wind tunnel time, the cost cap penalty. They were ahead of everyone, and we saw that at preseason testing. Raising James is, how bad is this trash? It's banged up. It's nothing that they can't repair. The question is, did something else get damaged in the process that we don't know about right now that needs to be repaired? And I believe that's Max and Checo coming out they're coming out of the garage.
First, huh?
That looks like
Carlos had a spin and crashed in the wall, so now it's been red flagged and it'll be restarted in 1.5 minutes. Actually, no, sorry, 1 minute.
And they are all lined up.
Yep, many are ready to go.
The Haas's look like they're out. The two are in the front of the line. Williams they're about ready to join the line. So pretty much everyone is out of their garage, waiting on pit lane to go.
Oh yeah, Grash. I'd like to ask because the previous session had half the grid basically be rookies and or more importantly not the drivers that'll be racing. So do you think that'll be detrimental enough for setup if they don't get going fast enough here? Because time is gonna be limited again because the accident happened 10 minutes into the session and now it's 25 minutes remaining, so that's another 20 minutes 25 minutes gone.
those drivers would be doing programs that would help at least indicate what the setup could be, but not necessarily all of the programs. We've lost 35 minutes of setup time, and we've gone green flag now, and the Haas's are the first two out. Williams would be the next two out of the pit lane.
How thick? Is it the same corner some drivers complain about the grip? I haven't heard much of the complaints myself, but from observations, I think the last turn and turn 3, right around where Sainz crashed, is one of the few turns to look out at.
Yeah, we did hear some complaints about that particular area of the track before.
This year.
So, in FP1, we did hear about some. There were some grumbling about what about the track earlier on. Pretty much everyone is coming out. Except Russell? Russell's still in the pit. He may be in the back. Did Sainz get a penalty? We don't know yet. We don't know what is actually damaged on the car. We'll know tomorrow by FP3. We'll know exactly tomorrow by FP3 what exactly was repaired if he has a penalty. Russell involved. Russell is just in the pit at the moment, where everyone else has gone onto track. He's the only other driver. He's the only other. Obviously, Sainz is not on track for obvious reason. Russell's not on track. Everyone else is. So we have a busy track at the moment.
Yellow flag again? Really? Red flag again?
Ooh.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. It's one of the Haas's. Nico Hülkenberg.
Nico Hülkenberg just had us. This is unbelievable.
My apologies. My apologies, everyone. Yeah, Nico Hülkenberg has hit the wall. His tire is.
This is not.
He has dislodged the tire from its rim.
I think a lot of the drivers have a lot of pushing and setups they have to do. Because, looking at Magnussen setting a purple means everyone hasn't really went for it yet. No offense to Magnussen, of course.
Yeah, no, they were the first. They were the first out of on the track. What is happening here? I don't know which god I pissed off. I am known to anger the F1 gods. I apologize, everyone, for what has happened here.
Okay, but Grash, I feel like as we move further on and on, as we look at the practice sessions from previously to now, it just seems like grip is a problem that all the drivers happen to have. Yeah, not a spin. But this seems to be more on his end, though.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. This is a driver error. He went into, so he spun. The back of his car hit a barrier. It looks like it hit concrete. So it's just a matter of getting his car off the racetrack and getting it. So the back of his car has been damaged.
Yeah. Someone made a point. The rookies in free practice wanted it better. Yeah, that's the thing. Rookies, then again, they weren't really pushing, so I don't think we can compare them to what the rest of the drivers are doing here.
So we are now back into another red flag scenario. I would say we will be back within 5 to 10 minutes tops. They've got to get. Oh, he's in a weird spot. They've got to get to his car and get off the track. So
he's in a weird spot, but I do think because of the fact that he didn't damage any of those barriers that they have to readjust. So I do not think he'll take too long.
Leafeon he's asking, why is time running despite red flags? Because during a practice session, it is a fixed time for that practice session. And so when a red flag happens, the time still continues. It's not like we're in qualification, the time stops for that quali session, or during the race where the race literally stops. Now, granted, for a race, if a race is red flagged, it can then continue to push into a timed race if there's if enough issues happen. So if there was another red flag to happen, then that timer is basically how long they have for the race to happen. No, John. Someone in chat saying that the session will not be resumed. No, that is not the case as of yet.
I think he didn't open inverted commas and close inverted commas to so-called as a sort of premonition, if you get what I mean.
No, we have enough time to get the car off track and then get it back. Like if there's 10 minutes left in the session, they'll run those 10 minutes session.
Yeah, I believe
race
so
control.
too.
Race control has not said that this is not going to be this session.
No actual updates from the FIA yet. None at all. Edgar is asking about, does Carlos have a big issue to make him get a penalty? Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll find out once they repair the car.
Basically, we know that based on what happened in Vegas, a lot of the car needed to be repaired. We know that something has happened. We don't know what parts of the car has been repaired, but we know he's on the edge on a lot of things. He did take the penalty that Carlos took in Vegas wasn't because anything he did. It's because his car needed to be repaired, and that repair put him over parts allocation. So that's what we are looking at again as a potential issue, but we don't know yet because the car hasn't been repaired. We'll know tomorrow because our car will be ready. And the car, how the car crashed with Carlos is basically how it's supposed to break down in that scenario. Same thing with Hulkenberg, yeah. So with this Haas, the back wing collapsed, and that's how that back wing is supposed to collapse. How many times get red flag? I've seen 3 in a session.
3?
So I've seen 3 in a session. I've also seen 1 run flag destroy the whole session. Twice this year, of all things.
Session resume at 5:44, which is in less than a minute. In a minute. Less than a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got the car off and they've cleaned the track pretty quickly.
Yeah. Seems like the hits where they move the barriers, those are the ones that really take a lot of time.
Yeah, the Tech Pro take a while because they have to reset those barriers for safety purposes. He hit a concrete wall. There's not much else I have to say. They ain't moving. Yeah, the part of it is that the Tech Pro barrier, part of why they are there and why they're used is because they absorb energy better. That's why Lando's accident, like he hit the wall, but he then spit in backwards and went into a Tech Pro barrier, and that is why his accident. While yes, he did go to the hospital, he get checked out. But that was procedural. That was because of the amount of energy that happened in it. Had he hit a straight-on wall, we may be talking about him not being able to compete because of, let's say, concussion protocol, for example. Didn't happen. That didn't happen in Vegas because he hit a Tech Pro barrier, and that absorbed energy, which is part of what makes this sport safer. Why is it red flag? We should be back to green flag now. They're just coming out of the pit now. So hopefully next minute or so, they're not going to cause another... We're not going to lose the back end on that turn 3 again.
Yeah, I'd like to know though, because is that Verstappen overtaking the pits again? Definitely, it has to be Verstappen, right? Yeah, it's Verstappen trying to overtake in the pits, and
He did
it's
just
that
pass
number
one of the
10. That's
Alpines.
Ocon defending in the pits. Fantastic moves. What a joke. What I like to see, no, rather, is that because we had the whole first practice session, and that does mean that really some of the drivers are affected. First affected by Sainz's red flag, and now with another 10 minutes gone.
He passed one of the Alfa Romeos, passed.
I think that's a Mercedes because I see the Petronas.
Oh yeah, and you're allowed to do this, by the way. Don't get me wrong; it's dangerous. It's not. He passed Russell. He passed both of the Mercedes. So he passed. Okay, I didn't see Hamilton. He passed both Russell and Hamilton. Then to get out onto track.
Piastri has set a purple sector 1.
Let's see, we're following Norris right now, fastest sector 1. So basically, Oscar has fastest sector 1, and then Norris fastest sector 2. They're already out on flying laps. You see, Max hasn't come around yet. He will be next. Be soon on a flying lap. And we are
set up purple sector 2. Hockenberg just watching the cars go by, and Alonso sets number 4, 5th, now 8th. Wow.
Oscar has set 125.3. Bottas has set a 120.
Bottas
5.0. His teammate did a 125.3. So we got Sergio, Piastri, Norris, Tsunoda, Russell, Albon right now on the board. Max setting an initial lap of 126.387. People are asking why Sainz is out.
T2 with 125.3.
And Nico Hülkenberg is out as well. Those are the two incidents we've had this session. It is getting darker.
Leclerc got a purple sector 2. Honestly, this practice was definitely really critical to gaining data that replicates qualifying and race lap conditions. But with these two red flags, it definitely shortens the time and does not help anyone at all. So I think it's possible that overall timing and comfort in the car will really vary between the drivers.
So Charles has gone P1 with a 124.8 on soft tires.
Okay. Bottas, the other one's softs.
People are saying they should extend the session. They're not going to extend the session. Not this session. If it's critical, like again with Vegas, they found a way to extend one of the sessions, but that was before it was planned to extend it. So if they extend a session, it'll be an extended FP3. We'll find out about that tomorrow. We got Hamilton right now. He's on a medium tire, so he's not going as fast as others expected. We're coming to the end of Hamilton's lap right now. And he's 2 seconds off. again, he's on a medium tire, so he's probably loaded with fuel to be that far back.
Also, it seems like Alonso's out on soft tires. Yeah, Alonso's out. Norris is out. Tsunoda is out. I'm not sure if he's on softs. Well,
Pretty much everyone is out. Everyone is
okay,
out
except for
on track.
except for Bottas and Gasly.
And they're the two. They've gone out. Did laps. I know Bottas did a lap. He's come back in.
Yeah.
Ricardo's pitted. Oscar, Sonoda, Alonso, and Ocon are on out laps at the moment.
Like Alonso's gonna start his lap, and the straw right there. Is it for? Yeah.
Norris and Perez are to. Alonso just started a flying lap. Norris and Perez are on flying laps. Alonso about a tenth off of what Norris has done. Perez is in sector 3. So is Verstappen. Take a look at. So they come to the end of their laps at the moment. Verstappen's going to go P9 with 125.880. See where Perez slots in now. Verstappen did P9, and Perez is going to slot in P12.
Right.
And they are on medium tires.
That is pretty good performance. Nothing to complain about. Mediums
Alonso,
too. Sector 2 is not that great. And P6. He was faster than the.
So someone's asking in chat, how many red flags do I have now? What is my counter racing statistics? I think it's at 3. So though technically FP1 did with no red flags, so we're at 1 for consistent. So if we're talking about streaks, I'm at 1 again. But I've seen dozens of red flags this year. My streak at the top was at 6 consistent. So Ocon is slotting at P8, Alonso P6. Again, Verstappen is now P11, So we're not seeing Red Bull showing their true pace just yet. Not that I'm saying they're sandbagging. They're on other programs at the moment.
Well, looks like Verstappen's complaining about what I assume is porpoising, because he said it's bouncing around in the last sector. So we'll see if they manage to deal with that.
And this track seems bouncy. I'm looking at the track could be bouncy as well. Because
even though it's just been resurfaced.
Yeah, it can be because it's been resurfaced. That could be the reason why.
Oh, all right.
Car jumping like a kangaroo on the last sector is what Verstappen said, and I can see that it can be. They may not have resurfaced it as best as we expected.
Oh yeah, like it's you mean it's possible that it's a bit of shoddy work. Well, yeah.
P2 within a tenth of Leclerc, and that's a big piece for that P4. Which battle are they in? They're in the battle for P4 between McLaren and Aston Martin. Stroll has jumped P9 with a 125.492. Five minutes ago in this session. following along with Hamilton at the moment. He is on soft tires. Knowing in about 10 minutes how ultimately he does 125.3, which is a P5.
I think Toto on our lap. Gasly too, I think so.
Yeah. At this point, pretty much everyone is on track, except for the two who have crashed out.
Yeah, it seems like everyone really wants to put in the times to really get a feel for the car.
So
looks like Verstappen had a
there was
little
an
thing with
incident.
Castro.
He was coming out of the pit, and I think Oscar went by him at speed. Max is complaining about it, but I don't think there's not going to be much done about that. Max on a flying lap. He's improved on his time in Sector 1, and he's going to get a little bit of traffic. Though he got around them cleanly, so that's not an issue.
Claire, what happened with Sainz? He spun earlier into the session and he crashed. So he's out of this practice session, and we'll see later if he ends up with a penalty for needing to use parts that aren't allocated to him for the championship.
And we've got 3 minutes to go in this session right now.
Yeah, everyone's
Max
really gonna
is
do
0.2 off of Leclerc at sector 2 at the moment. So Max is in the last sector. Perez is the fastest sector 2. He's within a 10th faster than Leclerc. So take a look at Perez.
Max just sets a purple sector 3.
And he's going to go P3 with 124.982. Let's see what Perez does. Here he comes. What happened that last? Yeah, he something went wrong on that last sector.
Yeah.
4 seconds off. So he lost something. He boarded the lap. We've got 2 minutes to go in this session. Yeah, don't know why Perez, why he boarded the lap in sector 3. He was looking good. Looking through right now, I believe one of the Mercedes at the moment. Trying to see who is on a flying lap right now. It doesn't look like anyone's on a flying lap. We've got 1 minute to go in this session now. So Russell's starting a flying lap now. Racing just put up a poll. Who will take to P2 in the Constructors' Championship? Oh, it's close. I think Mercedes is probably going to take it at this point. They have the advantage of a Ferrari, unfortunately. But if Carlos is going to get his car, he will be repaired. He'll be back. The question is who's going to take who over. Russell's on soft tires. If you're watching F1 TV, the slide, we got a difference between what's on two different spots on the screen. And time has ended for FP2, but we still have people on flying laps. Russell is the first one who will be the finish this lap. And we're going to just follow along with the stream at the moment. Perez is on a flying lap as well. Russell will slot in P5 with a 125.122. Verstappen is on a flying lap. Hamilton's on a flying lap. So those are the three drivers we're going to take a look at. Perez, I believe, is the next driver who will be across the line.
Yeah, I think Zoe went off at some point. Perez said a yellow sector 2.
He's got a yellow sector 2. He lost time. How much time did he lose? Not significantly. He does a 125.112. That's going to slot in P5. Max is going to slot in P3 with a 125.098. And Hamilton, is he still on track? He's still on track. I think he's already gone around. I think what I was looking at is a previous lap data. So I thought, so we are pretty much done with this session at this point. Leclerc top of the board, Norris within a 10th of him, Verstappen
Norris
0.7.
Do you see the track dominance graphic where it shows at which area Norris is faster than Alonso? And there's a very, very clear one. It really shows that in the first two sectors, Norris is just that much faster than Alonso, which is not too surprising looking at the Aston.
I mean, Alonso is P5, P11. He is a half a second off of Alonso's. Alonso is half a second off of Norris's time.
Yeah, and the question is he not pushing?
That's a good question. I don't know. But again, Oscar's time is about. I mean, Oscar and Alonso about within the same time frame. So both of the Matt. I mean, what Lando is a half a second faster than both of them, and then Stroll isn't slotting in a P13. So.
Yeah, I think we'd only really find out the driver's true pace at practice 3, because practice 2 being cut off like that, I think really everyone was just desperate to set up anything, get any data. But it's not looking good for Aston because both the drivers are out of the top 10. While looking at the Alfa Romeos or Saubers, will have to get used to call them from next year onwards. Yeah. They seem to be doing pretty decent.
I mean, the big issue right now is really more with Oscar and Alonso. They're about in the same place in terms of track lap times. Norris is half a second faster, like I said before, and Stroll off that pace. So right now, advantage is and Norris is P2. That's advantage to McLaren to take that P4.
Yeah, if Norris is faster, he'd be able to really bring the fight to the World Drivers and the World Constructors Championships.
What's interesting is Max only took P3 in this practice session. And it's a question: are they still working on 7? Is there? And he's a 10th, 1.73 behind Leclerc. So that he's not that far off. He's not that far off, is to be quite honest. So.
Yeah, and I do think he's really just setting up the car because, if I remember correctly, before it was the lap before that he was complaining about the bottoming out. So I do think you really just want to get a feel for the car first for really sending it as all, because you want to end up in the same situation as Hulkenberg and Sainz, considering it seems like most of the drivers are not exactly too happy with grip around here right now.
So it is going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow in FP3. I want to thank everyone who's come. We had over 2,000. I forget what was the top peak of what we were watching, but we want to thank everyone who showed up during this session. 383 likes. Thank you very much. We will be back tomorrow for FP3. Again, it's going to be middle of the night for me. We'll be back for qualification and then the race itself on Sunday. Do you have anything you want to say before we take off, Gester?
Anything I want to say? Nothing much, honestly, because really we didn't really get to see much, other than once again learning that maybe the drivers just do not have grip around here. So we'll really just have to see.
All right. I don't much else to say. Again, we'll know what if again Sainz and Hulkenberg crashed. Cars will be repaired. We know that they will be repaired. Ultimately, what if they're going to take penalties? We'll know. We'll know overnight. We'll know by during FP3 if there's any penalties will be applied for the repairs, parts issue. After that, I can't think. I know there were some incidents. I'll probably go back through and look at. One of the. They have a camera. They had a shot of Sight's slide, just as it started with one of the cameras by track. They're replaying that on the F1 TV at the moment. But yeah, that's going to be the big things tomorrow when we come to FP3. That's going to have major impacts on the battle for P4. I'm not sorry, not battle, but battle for P2 between Mercedes and Ferrari, and the battle for P4 in the drivers as well. That's still not settled as well. So, all right. We do have a Discord channel. So come. Oh yeah, the poll at the moment. 60% of you think Ferrari is going to take P2, despite having the crash. That's interesting. And Mercedes 40%. I'm gonna drop the Discord link into chat for everyone. We will be continuing talking about stuff. We'll definitely be dropping. I'll probably be dropping the FIA documents into chat as I find them tomorrow before FP3. So I want to thank everyone who's been here, and we'll see you tomorrow for FP3, and have a good night. Stay safe, everyone.